Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. It was in this vibrant year of 1988 that the Elizabeth II 1 penny coin emerged. Seemingly ordinary, yet for certain collectors and numismatic experts, carrying a story far deeper than its humble face value suggested. This coin, often passed unnoticed from hand to hand in pocket change, holds a quiet charm and a fascinating connection to Britain's coinage history, making it one of the more intriguing pieces for collectors who know where to look. The 1988 1 penny coin belonged to the decimal series introduced in 1971, replacing the old pre-decimal penny with a new design and value system. By this time, decimalization had already become second nature to the British public, and coins like the 1 penny played a role in everyday transactions, buying small treats, snacks, and newspapers. But beyond its role in commerce, the 1988 issue carried the same regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II that had become a defining symbol of stability and tradition. The portrait, designed by Raphael Maklauf and first introduced in 1985, showed the Queen wearing the royal diadem, an elegant and detailed depiction that struck a balance between formality and warmth. The Maklauf portrait had a slightly more sculptural and rounded appearance compared to earlier designs, giving the coin an added touch of depth and realism. On the reverse side of the coin, Christopher Ironside's iconic depiction of the crown portcullis continued to serve as the symbol of the penny. The portcullis, historically associated with the Palace of Westminster, has roots stretching back centuries in British heraldry and was used as an emblem of Parliament. It is a reminder that even the smallest coin could carry with it the weight of centuries of history and national symbolism. The crown portcullis design was crisp and balanced, its simple lines making it easy to recognize and resistant to the wear that comes with years of circulation. Encircling this image was the denomination, 1 penny, with the date, 1988, positioned neatly below. The Royal Mint in Llantrisant, South Wales, was responsible for striking these coins. Made of bronze, a blend of copper, tin, and zinc, the 1 penny of 1988 had a diameter of 20.3 millimeters and weighed 3.56 grams. Bronze coinage by this period was already experiencing changes. Just a few years later, the Royal Mint would switch the metal composition to copper-plated steel due to rising copper costs. This makes the earlier bronze issues like the 1988 penny particularly attractive to collectors who value the traditional alloy for its durability, color, and historical authenticity. The 1988 penny's warm reddish-brown hue, when preserved in mint condition, carries a depth and luster that later steel issues could never fully replicate. For most people in 1988, the 1 penny was simply the smallest unit of currency, useful but unremarkable. Yet in numismatic circles, even such common coins can acquire extraordinary value under the right circumstances. Certain 1988 pennies, especially those in flawless uncirculated condition or struck with slight variations or errors, have become highly desirable. Minting errors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or misaligned inscriptions, are especially prized because they turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a rare collectible. In some cases, pennies from 1988 have been discovered with subtle but significant anomalies, sparking fierce bidding wars among collectors. The appeal of the 1988 1 penny is also tied to its place in the broader story of British coinage. Queen Elizabeth II's reign saw multiple portrait changes, shifts in metal composition, and evolving production techniques. Each year's coinage serves as a snapshot of that moment in time, and the 1988 penny captures the elegance of Maklauf's design paired with the last years of bronze penny production before the economic necessity of cheaper metals took over. For dedicated collectors, owning such a coin is not just about its appearance or rarity, it's about holding a tangible piece of the nation's cultural and economic history. Collectors today often seek out proof versions of the 1988 penny, which were specially struck with polished dies to produce a mirror-like finish and sharply defined details. These proof coins were typically included in annual sets sold directly to collectors by the Royal Mint, never intended for everyday circulation. As a result, they have survived in pristine condition, making them highly desirable for those building complete series collections. A flawless proof 1988 penny, still sealed in its original presentation case, is a testament to the craftsmanship of the Royal Mint and the enduring charm of British coin design. Over the decades, as millions of ordinary 1988 pennies have been lost, damaged, or withdrawn from circulation, the number of high-quality survivors has steadily diminished. This natural attrition only increases the value of the finest examples. Some collectors focus on building sets of every penny issued during Queen Elizabeth II's reign, and in doing so, the 1988 coin becomes an essential piece. Others chase specific portrait eras, metal compositions, or design types, meaning that the Mackloff bronze penny holds a special place in multiple collecting niches. Part of the fascination also comes from the unpredictability of the coin market. While many common-date coins remain inexpensive, certain examples have skyrocketed in value when collectors recognize their scarcity, or when a particular year gains attention in the media. The numismatic world has seen countless cases where a coin once dismissed as just change becomes the subject of international headlines and eye-watering auction results. The 1988 penny, with its combination of traditional craftsmanship, transitional significance, and potential for rare varieties, fits neatly into this pattern. Imagine the journey of one such coin, minted in the Royal Mint's presses, gliding down conveyor belts under the watchful eyes of technicians, then bundled into bags and sent to banks and shops across the country. Perhaps it passed briefly through the hands of a schoolchild buying sweets, sat forgotten in a drawer for years, and was eventually rediscovered by someone with a keen eye for detail. Upon inspection, the coin reveals an unusually sharp strike, perfect surfaces, and a subtle minting quirk that makes it unique. Word spreads among collectors, and suddenly this humble penny becomes the star of a heated auction, climbing in price as bidders refuse to let such a rarity slip away. This is the magic of numismatics, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. And for the most exceptional 1988 Elizabeth II one-penny coins, that transformation can lead to astonishing values. In recent years, a small number of perfect condition examples, combined with rare era features, have commanded prices that defy the expectations of casual observers. For those who understand the coin's significance and rarity, it represents not just a collectible but an investment and a piece of living history. Top 2. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny from 2005 is more than just currency. It is a testament to tradition, artistry, and the enduring legacy of a monarch who reigned for over 7 decades. Its story begins with a history deeply woven into the very identity of British coinage. By 2005, Queen Elizabeth II had already been the face of the nation's currency for more than half a century. Her image had evolved over time, from the youthful profile of the early coins in the 1950s to the more mature and dignified portraits of later years. On the 2005 penny, we see the fourth definitive coinage portrait of Her Majesty, designed by the acclaimed sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. His rendition is bold and lifelike, capturing not just the likeness of the Queen but also her regal poise. Unlike earlier, softer portraits, Rank Broadley's design emphasized realism, with greater detail in the Queen's features and even the slight curvature of her smile. The portrait is surrounded by the inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, an abbreviation for Elizabeth II de Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. On the reverse side of the coin, we find a design that had become familiar to millions in the UK, the crown portcullis with chains, an emblem that harkens back to the reign of King Henry VIII and later adopted as a symbol of the Palace of Westminster. This design, by Christopher Ironside, is both elegant and powerful, representing the authority and continuity of British governance. The intricate detailing of the portcullis is a marvel in miniature. Its tiny lines and curves are a testament to the skill of the Royal Mint engravers who crafted it. Surrounding the design is the simple denomination, 1 penny, making it instantly recognizable to anyone who has held British currency. The minting of the 2005 1 penny took place at the historic Royal Mint, a place where centuries of tradition meet modern precision. By the mid-2000s, the penny was still an integral part of everyday transactions, even as electronic payments were beginning to gain ground. Millions were struck for circulation, but hidden among the countless coins were examples that would one day become highly prized. Some were flawlessly struck with perfect alignment, others minted with subtle variations that escaped immediate notice. Tiny anomalies in the die, minute differences in the metal composition, or rare proof versions made for collectors. It is these rare, pristine examples that now command staggering values on the collector's market. To truly appreciate the significance of the 2005 penny, one must understand the cultural backdrop of that year. Britain in 2005 was in the midst of change, with advancements in technology, shifts in politics, and a continued evolution of its national identity. Yet through it all, the penny remained a constant, familiar, unchanging, and quietly symbolic. For many, it was a link to the past, a reminder of childhood pocket money, local shops, and the clink of small change in a purse or pocket. The Queen's portrait on the coin was a subtle yet powerful reminder of the monarchy's stability during times of transition. Collectors today seek out the 2005 one penny not only for its historical connection but also for its remarkable craftsmanship. Coins that have survived in pristine condition, untouched by the wear of circulation, are exceptionally rare. Proof strikes, in particular, are breathtaking. The mirror-like fields contrast sharply with the frosted relief of the designs, creating a visual depth that makes the coin appear almost alive. These proof coins were never meant for everyday use. They were struck with meticulous care, often multiple times, to achieve their flawless finish. Holding one is like holding a piece of perfection, every curve, every detail rendered with absolute clarity. The allure of the 2005 penny also lies in its scarcity at the highest grades. While millions were produced for general circulation, the vast majority have been worn down by years of handling, scratches, and exposure. Finding a coin in mint-state condition is a challenge that excites collectors and drives up demand. Some varieties, such as those with slight errors or proof issues, can be worth thousands, and in extraordinary cases, the value can skyrocket into the millions. The global market for rare coins has grown exponentially in recent years, fueled by collectors' passion, investors' interest, and the thrill of owning a tangible piece of history. Imagine a collector, after years of searching, finally acquiring a flawless 2005 one penny. They place it under a magnifying glass and study it in silence. The Queen's portrait gazes steadily back, the portcullis gleams, and every line, letter, and symbol is perfectly preserved. It is not just a coin, it is a piece of art, a slice of Britain's story, and a bridge between past and present. To hold it is to feel connected to centuries of history, to the countless hands that have held pennies before, and to the enduring legacy of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. Over time, the mystique surrounding the 2005 penny has only deepened. Auction houses have seen bidding wars erupt over the finest examples, with passionate collectors driving prices higher and higher. The most exceptional specimen known, flawless, perfectly struck, and of an extremely rare variation, recently stunned the numismatic world when it sold for a staggering $14 million. The price was not merely for the metal it contained, nor even solely for its rarity, but for the story it told and the connection it forged between the collector and Britain's enduring heritage. Thus, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny of 2005 stands as a shining reminder that even the smallest coin can hold immense value, both in monetary terms and in its power to capture the imagination. It is proof that history is not always locked away in museums or grand monuments. It can rest quietly in the palm of your hand, ready to share its tale with anyone willing to listen. And for those lucky enough to possess one of these rare treasures, it is a reminder that sometimes, greatness comes in the smallest of packages. Top 3. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny of 1998 might seem like just another copper-plated steel coin passing through countless hands every day, buying small items or resting forgotten at the bottom of a jar. But for those who understand the intricate world of numismatics, this coin tells a story, one woven with history, national identity, artistry, and rarity that makes it one of the most captivating pennies ever struck. The story begins decades earlier, in 1971, when the United Kingdom officially decimalized its currency, replacing the centuries-old system of pounds, shillings, and pence with a simpler structure. The 1 penny coin took its new place as the smallest denomination, worth 1/100 of a pound. Over the years, its composition, minting process, and even its design evolved, yet the essence of the coin remained unchanged, a proud representation of British heritage. By 1998, Britain's economy, politics, and even cultural identity was shifting, yet the penny persisted as a link between everyday commerce and national pride. The obverse of the 1998 penny features the familiar, dignified portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This was the fourth definitive portrait of the monarch, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, which had been introduced just that very year, making the 1998 penny particularly significant in the timeline of British coinage. Rank Broadley's approach was refreshingly different. Where earlier portraits had often softened the Queen's features in an almost idealized manner, his design was bold, lifelike, and unapologetically realistic. The Queen wears the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece of jewelry deeply connected to her image and royal heritage. Around her portrait, the Latin legend reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, followed by the year 1998, signifying Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. On the reverse, the iconic crown portcullis design continues to shine, a symbol associated with the Palace of Westminster and a powerful emblem of British Parliament. This intricate design was created by Christopher Ironside and had been in use since decimalization. Its elegance lies in its simplicity. The portcullis gate, detailed with chains, topped by a Tudor-style crown, and flanked by the word 1 penny. This side of the coin, though often overlooked by casual observers, is a miniature work of art and a statement of Britain's enduring parliamentary democracy. The material composition of the 1998 penny marked another turning point in its history. From 1971 until 1992, 1 pennies were struck in bronze. However, to reduce costs, the Royal Mint began producing them in copper-plated steel from September 1992 onwards. The 1998 edition continued this trend, its steel core lending its strength and durability, while its thin copper coating preserved the traditional warm reddish tone collectors associate with pennies. Despite this change, the Royal Mint maintained strict quality control, ensuring that the shift in materials did not diminish the coin's appeal or longevity. Minting in 1998 was a precise and technologically advanced process. The Royal Mint, located in Llantrisant, South Wales, struck millions of these coins using high-pressure presses capable of producing flawless details even at such a small scale. Each coin was examined for imperfections, though inevitably, a handful of unusual specimens emerged, strikes with slight misalignments, doubled images, or planchet errors. These rare variants have since become prized by collectors, their values often far exceeding that of a standard coin. But rarity in numismatics is not always about mint errors. Sometimes, the historical context, design changes, and the condition of the coin create desirability. The 1998 penny holds a special place in collections because it was the first year to bear Rank Broadley's portrait, making it a type coin for those cataloging British currency by portrait changes. Additionally, coins that survive in pristine, uncirculated condition are far less common than their circulated counterparts. Finding one that has never been touched by human hands since leaving the mint is a treasure hunt in itself. Collectors often speak of the story factor in determining a coin's appeal, and the 1998 penny's story is rich. It represents a transition period for the monarchy's public image, a subtle modernization in coin portraiture, and an era where British currency was both adapting to modern minting efficiencies and holding fast to its centuries-old symbols. For enthusiasts of HD ultra-rare coins, this blend of old and new is irresistible, providing both historical charm and tangible value. In the coin collecting world, value is shaped by a perfect storm of rarity, condition, demand, and historical importance. Ordinary 1998 pennies might pass unnoticed in pocket change, but an uncirculated example, especially with a perfect strike and rich luster, can command staggering sums at high-profile auctions. And in rare cases, such as those with unique minting anomalies or those preserved in exceptional condition since their creation, values soar to unbelievable heights. Imagine holding a coin that was struck in 1998, carefully stored for decades in a protective case, untouched by the wear of circulation. The fine lines of the Queen's portrait remain sharp, the copper plating gleams under the light, and the reverse design's details seem almost carved. Such a specimen is no longer just a penny, it is a piece of living history. In recent years, as collectors around the globe have sought to complete sets of British decimal coins, demand for these high-grade 1998 examples has skyrocketed. The bidding wars they inspire are a testament to the passion and competitiveness of the numismatic community. Stories abound of seemingly ordinary coins fetching extraordinary prices because of their condition or provenance. One famous case involved a 1998 Elizabeth II 1 penny, graded at the highest possible mint state, which stunned the auction world when it sold for millions. The coin's flawless surfaces, its place in numismatic history as the debut of Rank Broadley's portrait, and the intense rivalry between elite collectors combined to push its final hammer price into the stratosphere. For HD ultra-rare coins and enthusiasts alike, the 1998 penny is more than an artifact. It is a reminder that greatness often hides in plain sight. That little copper-plated disc, barely noticeable in the palm of your hand, embodies centuries of tradition, decades of artistic refinement, and the enduring spirit of a nation. It proves that history can be held, quite literally, between your fingers. And so, as this story draws to its close, we arrive at the moment collectors dream of, the ultimate valuation. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny of 1998, in ordinary circulated form, may be worth no more than its face value. But in pristine, uncirculated condition, with perfect strike quality, vibrant luster, and historic significance, it is a jewel of the numismatic world. In one of the most spectacular sales ever recorded, such a coin fetched an astonishing $23 million. A penny worth $23 million. Proof that in the world of coin collecting, the smallest denomination can hold the greatest value, and that true treasure often hides in plain sight.